Hi, dear dreamer. This is Lisa Hayes with Dreams for Society and Dreams for You coaching. And today is January 13, 2021. What I'd like to talk about again is what does imagine, visualize, and create mean, which is the mantra of Dreams for Society. That's what we're going to answer during this audio for you so that you can consciously be aware of how to imagine, visualize, and create your dreams for yourself and society. Obviously, we imagine, visualize, and create every single moment. However, most of us may not be aware of our power to choose the feelings and emotions when we imagine, visualize, and create. And that is the key. If we automatically, unconsciously, or whatever, react to something that usually is triggering us to react in a negative way, then when we're imagining, visualizing, and creating in that moment, well, I would suspect that our feelings and emotions are very low frequencies. And emotions is energy in motion. So our feelings and emotions are tangible waves of energy that go out into our realm from our inner consciousness, our inner soul housed within our physical body. That energy wave goes outward into our reality, and what we see is aligned with the feeling and emotion that we just sent out. And I know this sounds far-fetched to most, possibly. However, that is how powerful we are. We not we don't necessarily need to know how those things we see in our reality are happening or how we created those. We must understand, however, that they're aligned with the feeling and emotion that we just sent out. Now, having understood and knowing this ancient wisdom, it's time now to go to the 3 steps of imagine, visualize, and create. I would think that 100% of you listening want to imagine, visualize, and create with your highest emotion and feeling possible, which would be in alignment with the emotions and feelings of joy, bliss, peace, prosperity, abundance, intelligence, creativity, artistic ability, musical ability, cognitive ability, healthy, wealthy, and wise, kind, loving, joyful. Oh, you're just saying those words right now and you're listening is creating an energy wave of very high frequency. So let's start with imagine, which is the first of the 3, imagine, visualize, and create. Let's just take a perfect example of you're sitting in your living room, bogged down with household chores or work or whatever that is obviously in that moment, you're not realizing it, yet you are bringing in low frequency feelings and emotions because you're frustrated or you feel burdened. Those are low frequency emotions. You can, while you're sitting there contemplating those feelings and emotions in your mind, you can switch the whole thought process. You can switch the whole feeling and emotion process like a flip the light switch. You can do that right now while you're sitting in your chair listening to this, instead of instead of bringing in emotions and feelings that are low frequency of scarcity, frustration, complaining, criticizing, all of that, just say, stop, look, and listen. I'm going to think of something I know I'll be more easily able to bring in higher frequencies of joy, bliss, fun, happy, all of that. So let's imagine that you love sitting on the beach in the Caribbean, and you are sitting on the beach in the Caribbean and you're imagining that, oh my goodness, and immediately you have a smile on your face and you're like, oh, I'd feel so awesome. I know I'd feel so awesome. And you do feel awesome in that moment, just thinking of it. This is the key. Just imagining you're sitting on the beach in the Caribbean, you're automatically bringing in these high frequencies of joy and bliss. Unless you get stubborn and say, oh, I can't do that. And then all of a sudden you're bringing in frustration. I can't do that. I don't have enough money or time, blah, blah, blah. No. You got to flip that off and flip on this imagination that you do have the money and time, that you do have the ability, that you can create. You're sitting there on the beach, enjoying the ocean breeze. Now let's get to the visualization part. Visualize. Think about exactly what it looks like. Make it your own. Bring in the details. And also remember to bring in the details that are aligned with your knowing those details are going to be fun, joyful, going to bring in the feelings of bliss, all of that. So let's just visualize you're sitting on the beach on a beautiful day without any clouds in the sky. The tropical breeze, warm tropical breeze is blowing across your cheek, and you're on this beautiful lounge chair with a beautiful suit, either trunk or swimsuit, depending on if you're a man or a woman. And you have beautiful spring water to drink and some healthy snacks, and you look good. You look good, you feel good, you feel healthy, wealthy, and wise. And you're so peaceful. You're so joyfully sitting there enjoying without a care in the world the ocean, and you see some dolphins out there. Oh, how beautiful those dolphins are. And you watch the seagulls in the sky and the cranes, and you see even some stingrays right there at the edge of the ocean because you're sitting close to the edge of the ocean. And you're like, this is so beautiful. I'm so fortunate. I'm in love. I'm in love with Mother Earth. And you just have these wonderful feelings coming in, these wonderful emotions, emotion, energy, and motion. Everything's aligned with the highest and best good of all and you. So now let's get to the create side. You might also, let me back up a minute. You can, when you visualize maybe the resort that you think you'll stay in, what it looks like, maybe the name of it, if you've been there before, or if you haven't, if you don't know about any resorts in the Caribbean or the particular island you want to be on. Just imagine the space and what you're wearing again, and what you look like, and how many people are on the beach, and all the details. And now let's go to the create side. And again, the important thing to remember here is that we aren't necessarily going to create the exact thing, or maybe not even close to what we imagined and visualized. The key is to imagine and visualize something that brings in high frequency feelings and emotions, and that when we go to the create stage, to bring it into our reality, because that's the power we have of human beings here in this realm, we can bring that into reality. We must create with the same high frequencies of feelings and emotions. Now let's stop there for a minute and really understand that. If we want to come even close to manifesting, in a sense, creating our ability to sit on that beach that we imagined and visualized, we must bring in the same high frequency emotions and feelings of fun, happiness, peace, joy, bliss, all those wonderful things of being grateful for being there. When we look at our schedule and determine when can I go, what time is best, we must look at our schedule with a high frequency feeling and emotion. We must look at our bank account with a high frequency feeling and emotion. And we must create more money, in a sense, maybe an extra job, or we save money, or we block out a specific time that will work perfectly for us during the year, that maybe we lovingly and joyfully move a few other things around. We cannot bring in frustration when we're juggling our schedule here, or being cognizant of the money we must have to make this trip. Everything must be aligned with the highest frequencies possible. So if we start to say, oh, I don't have the money or I don't have the time, stop immediately. Take a break from this. Then take a deep breath later and go back to your imagination and visualization of your Caribbean beach trip and start over with the creative side. Because creating in action with action is actually booking the flight or moving your schedule around so that you can have time to go. So time and money is part of this physical realm, the rules that we play under. So we cannot let those rules of money and time trigger us and so that we would bring in negative feelings and emotions. We must play with money and time in a way that allows us to keep our frequencies high of feelings and emotions. Do you understand? Do you understand that? Let's take a breath here. Let's take a breath. Again, any moment we start to feel like, I can't do this, I'm not worthy, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I'm sick, whatever, somebody else won't want me to go, whatever the feelings of negativity are, those have got to be removed in the create stage. They have to be, or else what you create isn't going to be serving you in your highest and best good. So no matter what it is, whether it's imagining and visualizing a beautiful dinner, you must create that dinner in your highest and best possible frequencies that you can bring in with your highest and best possible frequencies. You can't go to the store and feel tired and like, oh, I don't want to be at the store. Oh, I don't want, why did I even think about having this Mexican dish? I should have just stayed home and eaten cereal. Or I don't really have the money to spend on this Mexican dish. Okay, you've got to stop there and say, wait a minute. I'm so grateful that I have a car that can take me to the grocery store, that I do have enough money to buy the ingredients for this Mexican dish. And it's going to, once I make it, it's going to taste so good. I'm so fortunate. I'm so grateful. Because when we imagine and visualize the Mexican dish we were going to cook for us that evening, we brought in wonderful feelings of joy, wonderful emotions of bliss. And we were not thinking negatively at all or feeling negatively. So when we go to the store in the action mode, in the create mode, we must continue that high frequency. Otherwise, we'll sabotage ourselves, and either we won't make the Mexican dinner that we imagined and visualized, or it'll flop because everything is aligned. This is universal law. Everything is aligned with the feelings and emotions that we send out. That's what's going to be seen in our reality, reflected back to us like in a mirror. So it's like you send out these feelings and emotions, they hit the mirror, and then scene this scene manifests in the mirror that is reflected back to us. So if we send out, when we're in the grocery store, all these negative vibes, then what we see when we are sitting down at the dinner table is a flopped meal. It tastes terrible because it's aligned with the same feelings we had in the create stage. This has been a longer recording than I had anticipated. However, I hope this helps with the two examples of the vacation and cooking a meal for us, because it matters not what we're imagining and visualizing and creating. What matters, because we're doing that all the time, what matters is the feelings and emotions that we bring in while we're imagining, visualizing, and creating. And when we bring in the highest frequency feelings and emotions possible in all three stages, we're going to see reflected back to us our creation that is aligned with that joy, bliss, love, tasty Mexican food. Everything's going to be in the highest and best good for us. That's how powerful we are. We must, in every moment of the day, stop, look, and listen at what we're feeling, what we're thinking, what we're saying, and what we're doing, because that is what we're creating, whether we realize it or not. We're creating the world in which we see aligned with the feelings and emotions that we emitted while we were doing that. So, with that, I will let you ponder all of this. And until next time, love and joy, and imagine, visualize, and create your wildest and best dreams, dear dreamers. I love you, Lisa.